Welcome to the Math Universal Screener Training for 5th through 8th grade educators. This training has 3 modules. In Part 1, we will look at an overview and introduction to the universal screening process. In Part 2, we will look at the assessment itself. In Part 3, we will look at data and the next steps in using that data in the RtI process. A universal screener is used to identify students who may be at risk in your classroom. This screener will be given to all students, and they will be brief assessments that are valid, reliable, and demonstrate diagnostic accuracy for predicting learning or sometimes behavioral problems. They were administered more than one time per year, so we will have a fall administration, a winter administration, and a spring administration. In Coppell, we are using 3 different universal screeners depending on the grade level. So kindergarten through 2nd is using the Texas Early Mathematics Inventory Progress Monitoring, which is TEMIPM. 3rd and 4th grade are using Elementary Students in Texas Algebra Readiness, or the E-STAR. And 5th through 8th grade are using the Middle School Students in Texas Algebra Readiness, or the M-STAR. The E-STAR and M-STAR are not to be confused with our State STAR assessment, which is similar in name but different in format and content. The E-STAR and M-STAR are similar assessments, so you will see some overlap in the administration manual and some of the documents and the way things are reported. They are different in their content and the level of questions that they are using. But the E-STAR is for 3rd and 4th grade, and the M-STAR is for 5th through 8th grade. Both of them are universal screeners that are part of a bigger process, a bigger formative assessment system in the RtI process, and they are administered to allow teachers to identify students who may be at risk for not meeting the curricular expectations as identified in the Texas Response to Curriculum focal points. In kindergarten through 2nd, the assessment focuses on the numeracy strand, and this extends in 3rd through 8th grade to include things such as fractions and later percentages and proportionality. And so you will see a connection between that numeracy strand and algebraic readiness. The district testing calendar will be available for you to refer to see when the testing window opens for our fall administration, winter, and spring. Kinder through 2nd begins August 24th through September 16th, and 3rd through 8th grade is September 8th through September 23rd. Because your assessment is computer-based, that window is determined by all students who are taking it in Texas at the same time, so that is opened on September 8th for everyone and closes on September 23rd. All of the resources that you will need for the universal screener, as well as the intervention lessons and our RtI documents that will come later, are located in the Coppell Intervention Services public Google folder. This folder was created by teachers and our RtI committee and administrators who were on that committee as a place to really organize the information and somewhere you could go to find everything you need in one place. So if you will search in your Google Drive for Coppell Intervention Services Public, you should have access to the folder. Mine's linked here. And in that folder, there's information about 504, behavior services, special ed, some general info, and then the folder we are going to be looking at is RtI2. Inside that folder, you'll have different subject areas. We're going to be in the math folder. And then mine are color-coded because I just wanted them that way and changed that, but yours will probably all be black. So make sure you are looking at the 5th through 8th math folder. And in there you will see 4 documents and 1 folder. The folder is really just a place where we housed all of the documents that we linked, so you really don't need to go into the folder. It's just a lot of documents that you can find elsewhere in a more organized way on these sheets. The first page that you have is the Mathematics RtI process flowchart. You will want to download this because the font is very small and you are not able to read it. And then once you download it, you're going to have to zoom in a little bit. This is a flowchart that outlines the entire process and is aligned with the administrative guidelines that were updated this year and that your principals shared with you for the RtI2 process. It's kind of a one-stop shop if you want to see the entire process at one time, and it takes you through the instructional decisions that are made, the decisions that the RtI committee makes, and the data that is needed all the way through Tier 3. Things will be linked directly to here, so you could access the information from this flowchart. But if this is overwhelming or you don't need to see the entire thing at once, you can access everything you need on the other documents that I'll show you. So this is there if you would like to see the whole picture. And then there are other ways to access that information. The second document is the Universal Screener document. And here you will find your administration manual and then an overview course in Project Share. This is not something you're required to go to. It's just a place you can go for more information if you want to read more about the assessment or the scoring or something like that. You could go here, and it is a course on Project Share that's open to you. If you don't know your Project Share password or login information, there's a place on there to reset that, and so you should be able to do that and then join that course. The intervention tracking sheet, there's a different one for every grade level, and the reason for that are the formulas inside there, so make sure you get your correct grade level. And we will talk a little bit more about these in the next modules, but these are where you're going to chart your Universal Screener assessment scores and then your progress monitoring that aligns with that if you have any students that continue in the RtI process. So for the purpose of this module, I just wanted you to see an overview of where you will find the documents, and later we will go a little bit more in depth into some of those links. So you've completed part 1 of the training, and if you will continue in Schoology to learn more about the assessment and then the data that is given to you after they take the assessment and what your next steps would be.